Welcome back. Lending a hand to small business, Wells Fargo launched a $400 million fund to support minority-owned businesses impacted by the pandemic, using money from fees earned using the Paycheck Protection Program. Joining me right now is Wells Fargo Head of Business Philanthropy, Jenny Flores. Jenny, it's great to have you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. Tell us more about the fund.
Yes, so we are so proud of the Open for Business Fund. It's designed to help keep small businesses open and to keep jobs in our local communities. So as you mentioned, $400 million. There are three ways in which these funds will be deployed. The first is putting money in the hands of small businesses. We're partnering with local community lenders called CDFIs that are supported by the U.S. Treasury. They are helping us get the money to small businesses that really need the support. The second area in which we feel is very important, it's not just the money. I think equally important is having that advice and mentorship as these small businesses navigate the very difficult choices that are having to be made. So we're putting $50 million behind what we call technical assistance. And then the third area is called recovery and resiliency, really looking at bringing solutions to the market that help more on a long-term basis to sustain jobs in our communities.
Steve Forbes, jump in here.
Jenny, what you're doing is fantastic. As you know, before COVID, the biggest new small business formations came from the Latino community more than any other group. And for the first time in generations, African-American startups were also moving up very smartly before COVID. One of the complaints these small business people had was that thanks to regulation, banks weren't making the kind of loans traditionally they did make to business startups in communities. Do you think the regulatory environment going forward will enable banks, community banks especially, and your bank as well, to make those kinds of loans without the regulators beating up on you to help these small businesses on a big scale?
Yeah, I don't have a crystal ball to see exactly how the regulatory environment will play out in the coming months. But what I will say is that Wells Fargo is deeply committed. We have been committed and will remain committed to supporting small businesses through our business products and services, through the commitments like Open for Business Fund, and making sure that they have the resources they need to succeed. In fact, we know that it's going to be a long path to recovery. We just released the findings from our Wells Fargo, the fourth quarter Wells Fargo Gallup Small Business Index. And what it says is that small businesses, the lion's share, are not really seeing recovery happening for them until the latter part of 2021. So we'll be here for them, and we look forward to ensuring that everyone knows about this program so small businesses can take advantage of these resources.
And will the principal repayment be extended over time? Principal repayment be extended over time so that they have a chance to get back on their feet before getting squeezed for big repayments?
So for us, the resources that we're providing through Open for Business are in the forms of grants and very low interest loans, no more than 3% interest rate. So we think that the flexibility and the design of this initiative will really meet entrepreneurs where they're at. Not every entrepreneur at this point can absorb a new loan. Perhaps what they need to just stabilize is a grant, right? So we have made that possible, that flexibility. We built that into the initiative.
Okay, we will leave it there. Great to have you, Jenny. Thanks very much.
Thank you for having me.
Jenny Flores.